Good morning and sliding in afternoon. Judy Allen here, also known as Nana, with Teaching Nana here on Hot Friday afternoon. So, I would tell you is hold on to your seat, because I'm going to be showing you a lot in a short amount of time. But yes, the beauty of YouTube is you can go back, pause it, watch it as much as you want. Alright? Because we're on alternative number 2 from Pick Up a Crop, which is the June paper pumpkin. So let's go down hands and let's get started. Alright? Okay, so this is the leftover stuff I have from the kit. Alright? So let's see what I've done. I'm going to add something with it today. I'm going to set it aside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add what's called some Blackberry Bliss paper. Now basically I've just taken 8.5 by 11, cut it in half. That'd be enough for a regular card. But I'm making a note card today, so I cut it in half again. So this is what you end up with when you do that. And this is nothing more than, just to let you know, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Alright? So I'm setting it aside because I have this all together right here. Alright, so what I've done is I've taken the envelope and I've cut it open and cut it apart. So remember last week I showed you the inside the envelope, half of it was this color. Alright, so what I did is I just cut the envelope apart, and I'll show you the envelope again so you get an idea, a visual, because most of us are visual learners. Let me grab that envelope again, I thought I had one handy. I didn't. Okay. So whenever I dissect an envelope, I cut all the edges here, open it up, and in this particular case, because I was going to make it onto a note card and I was going to put it on a piece, we always shorten it by 1/4 inch. So this piece here is 4 inches, this white cardstock is 4 inches, because it's just a 1/4 shorter, and it is going to be 5 1/4. This is here. So, what I did is I went and I sized down this pink inside of the envelope down to that size. And it doesn't quite cover it to be able to get the stripes and all, right? So then what I did is I turned around and I cut the piece in half once I got through folding it. So, in order to get this line down the center, because I did go ahead and take these down, is basically I just took my, you can see it a little bit, I actually took my cutter that's also got a score on it. I scored right down the middle, and I used paper crafting right, folded it over. This one I already stuck down, and I got it snug up like this, so it's going to look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some adhesive tape, alright? And if you're out there, be sure to say hello. We do drawings at the end of the month. Every monthly meeting. Hello, Jennifer. So good to see you on a hot Friday afternoon. I hope you're going to have a nice weekend and stay cool, right? Because right now it's about staying cool. Okay, so then once I got it to the half, then I just set it there and scored it right there. And when I cut it in half, so I'm going to have just some of it left over. This is about a 1/2 inch. Yes, because I wanted enough that when I go to put it on this paper here, I know it's going to stick, right? Now I'm going to go ahead, it's going to all be hidden. This is just like if you did flower arranging, a wreath, make a wreath, you know, you're hiding your work, right? So this is what it's going to look like once you get through adding those downs and doing your paper crafting there by folding, and it's going to go like this. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to turn around and I'm just going to put it on right here, because we're going to make a note card, right? And it'll go in an envelope. It's all about sending, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. You can use the glue dots, but for me, right now, it's the need for speed. Alright. I use those glue dots anyway for other things as well. So, there you go. Alright, so then I'm just going to center it, right? I usually just try to line it up with my corners and about the even on the sides as best I can. I don't get anything out and measure it. Alright, you're going, well, that's interesting. Okay, so the next thing I did is I took, this is actually one of the cards in a kit, like this. So I just cut it in half, right? Because I'll use this for something else soon, maybe next week. And then I took this, I wanted all the greenery here. So that was my decision of where to cut the cardstock. Otherwise, the most way just going right down the center. But I'll use that too. Alright, so we don't want to tape this all the way down, right? Because what we want to do is, it doesn't matter if you want this side to open or this side to open. Whichever side you want to open, the card to open, that's where you're going to want to put the tape, right? So I'm just going to put some tape right here on the edge. You don't want the whole thing. Just, if you want to measure it just because you need to, then get you a pencil that you can erase and do that, okay? And it doesn't matter which side, you could flip it over and do it either way. I'm going to guess, and I'm just going to come down the middle. And you know what? I'll tell you what, let's do one better. This isn't in the kit, but you could do it with glue dots. Glue dots would be easier. I'm actually just going to come right here with this glue here, because this will dry, and it'll dry clear, and it won't be sticky once it gets all done. Alright, I'm going to do it that way for the moment. Okay. And there we go. I just centered it up, right? And I really should did my message on there first. Gosh, I should do that live. That's right. It doesn't matter where I'm doing it live or I'm not live. I still do the same thing. I get focused on what I'm doing and forgetting that I really have to stamp a message here. Okay, so basically at this point the card is done with the exception of us putting a message on here, right? And actually, you do have from previous paper pumpkin kits, we do have Blackberry Bliss. I just went in and got my bigger one because it was easier for me when I'm in the need for speed for you guys. And I'm just going to tap it 3 times, right? And if I want to see what it's going to look like, I've got my paper right here to the side. You can see what it's going to look like. There you go. So I am just going to sit there and tap it 3 more times and put it here. Now since I already did that, I can sit there and actually open it up like this, right? So my world wasn't really ending. And I'm just going to stamp it right in the center. Okay, and then I can close it right here. Now, the thing that we had also in this month's kit was this string. So I'm actually going to use this string to make a bow on this end here. I'm just going to hold it right here. So yes, whoever gets this card, I'm going to still stamp a message in it, but I don't know what message I'm going to put right now, but it's okay. I'm just going to take this and wrap it around twice, okay? And then I'm going to make my bow. Now, it's right. I could sit there and tie a square knot, but it's going to be a tiny square knot, right? So I'm just going to come out here. I don't have an exact measurement. Let me just snip it there. So it's driving me crazy. Alright. And then I'm just going to make my bow. And you can move, the nice thing is, you can move your bow anywhere you want to move it. It's a nice thing about bows. Especially if they're not glued down. And if you have problems making that bow live, I can finish it later, right? That's right. Okay, so just get it wherever you're comfortable. It doesn't matter. It's all about just making it look nice. I'm going to be sending the mail to someone. Make their day. I received a card in the mail yesterday, and it was very nice. Very nice to receive a card. It said, "You're amazing." Made my day. Oops, I pulled the wrong string. Let's see there. That's because I still... Oh, I know what it is. I don't like the way this one bow is. So you know what? I normally just tug on it, but why? Oh, there it is. So tiny I can't see it. Okay. It's in the shadows. Okay, there we go. That's what I was wanting. I wanted more of a bow. Okay. Now I loosened it up as a result. But that's okay. It's just going to have to stay there, because I still have to go back and do the other. And then just trim it off. I'm not going to trim it off right now because I know I'm going to have to come back, alright? So the other thing though is I went through my stuff that I still had left over, and I still had these little rocks, and they were from the Safari Celebration collection, and I had already colored these. And I'm just going to add these. These I had done green back when I did the kit, and this one I had done purple, and you know what, I could go either way. So if you have a preference of the green or the purple, let me know, because I'm just going to put them down here on the bottom. So Jennifer, I know you're out there, so what do you think? Do you think you like the green or the purple? Do you have a preference, green or purple? Because if it's purple, then I'll just color some more. If it's green, I'll take what I got. Alright, let's see. Because I can go either way, right? Because the green goes really well. And this was colored with what I just did was a Blackberry Bliss. And you can see there. Alright, so I don't have any feedback there. So I actually have 5 of these. So I will just go ahead and add these. Oh, purple. Of course, of course. Alright, so that is okay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take my ink pad here, and I'm just going to grab some ink, right? Just the corners, all I need. And then I'm going to color these little rocks again. Then I'll just spread them out at the bottom. But you can see, I've just got a quick, simple, beautiful card. Yeah, I had to do some cutting. Where'd those little things go? They're clear. So I'm just going to take this here, and I'm just going to do some coloring, right? And that's the nice thing about these, is the color will stay. You do have to let them dry though, right? So I may not be able to put these on right away since I'm already done. But let's go ahead. I'll get them at least colored, right? And I'll just go ahead and color up a few extra ones, because you know what? You never know. And if you get them too dark, then that's fine. Just go ahead while you're at it, right, at the beginning, while you're coloring, just go ahead and get some of it off. I'm going to go ahead and color mine dark, because I got to show up on that yellow, right? It's a beautiful yellow. It's crushed curry yellow. So sometimes when you're putting stuff on darker colors, your other items have to be darker so they show up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, good. Odd numbers. That's what I needed. Okay, so I would just have to let these dry, but just to give you a visual. Let me get my... So when you use a pen like this, all you got to do is just keep on until you get the color off. Because the last thing I want to do is go and use this and have purple, right? Or purple mixed with whatever other color I want. So you don't want that. So just get it cleaned off. Alright, just takes a moment, and it makes life easier for you later. Okay, so these will dry. But see, then you can really see how these are going to show up right down here. So I have to wear them dry before I can do anything else. But at least I wanted to show you that. And it was, like you said, it was simple. I just had to do some cutting apart of different things. Here's another one that I actually cut apart too. I'm going to do a wraparound of something. I just don't know what yet. But I've got to hide my work, right? So you can see where all I did was just come in, fold it. This particular one that I did was 2 inches. And I really wanted something bigger, so I just went bigger. But that just gives you an idea how I started off. Cut it. I just cut the envelope, and I did it to the center, and I knew I could cut it in half. And see, even doing it like this, see how that goes there? I could just as easily take this, ooh, looky there, there you go, shaping it up for next alternative. Looky how that'll work. That'll work really nice. So, put that aside for next week, or the week after, because I got a couple more weeks of alternatives, just testing out, but just to show you. And this is just how we create. We just go and see how things look, and make our decision from there. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed that, because I always find it fun to see what I can make out of the other stuff in the kit, right, without going outside. However, today we did go outside the box. We sat there and used the Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and I sent some of that to my customers with their kit this month. Just for them to try out some different things too. So I look forward to see whatever alternatives they've created so we can share with you as well. So with that, be blessed. Have a great weekend. It's hot here. I'm hoping you got cooler weather there. And it's all about, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So be blessed. Be sure to follow us not only here on Facebook, but we're out there on YouTube. We always get the videos posted, and we always post pictures of the cards themselves on Instagram and Pinterest. Alright, if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like us to do, to share with you or to demonstrate for you, just send me a message and we'll see what we can do. Alright, see you next week. Bye.